And we think, my colleagues who've done this, think they've discovered a black hole that is sitting in this sort of netherworld where there's no evidence that it ate to become that massive. And we don't know how to explain it by the formation and death of stars, and is nowhere near the supermassive black hole in the center of the galaxy. So it is the frontier of research at this moment. Why do we all know who Paul Revere is? All right, it's a household name. Yet is there any other war ever fought in the history of the world where a household name is the name of the person who told other people the enemy was coming? We can mention his name, but we can't list the generals that all fought in that war. Why? It's because a poem was written about him. And he had this mundane job, let me tell people the enemy is coming. And so the artist, in this case the poet, elevated the mundane to something that forces you to reckon it with your understanding of this world. What's Joyce Kilmer's most famous poem? It's about a tree. Dogs piss on trees. You drive by trees, you don't even know they're there. Yet a poem about a tree. But if thinking what they want influences policy, which then affects everybody, then your science denial has consequences to the economic health of the nation. And by the way, it's not only economics, the economic health, it's your physical health, because medicine flows through advances in science, as well as our security.
Well, there's people that deny some aspects of science while conveniently using other. That's where it gets weird, right? You're driving a car that's relying on GPS. You're using a phone to complain about the global warming hoax.
Correct. One of my more sort of popular tweets was, you remember when we had the photo of the black hole from a distant galaxy, and it was banner headlines, maybe a year ago, less than a year ago, banner headlines, and first photo ever of a black hole. And future wars are going to be fought over who has access to fresh water, and the value of water will go up. And by the way, the value of water in space is $10,000 a pound. So if you lasso a comet and you say this is a lot of fresh water, I guess you can bring it back down to Earth, but that's expensive. You're better off selling it to NASA for $9,000 a pound, because it costs them $10,000 a pound to put water into orbit.
So you're better off keeping it up there and somehow or another.
So the price just went up. The big price point of that was, when did the average cost to garage a car for a month in Manhattan equal the average cost of a 2-bedroom home in the United States? And we've passed that cost of rent.
What's the average?
So it costs
cost
more
to rent?
it was like some $600 a month or something
To rent a parking spot?
to rent a parking spot, right?
One spot.
One spot a month per month.
That's
and you can rent a
hilarious.
home in many places, in the suburbs somewhere, for $600 a month.
What kind of car do you drive?
So I now have a Tesla. Yeah. So I ponied up. They're expensive, by the way.
I heard.
Yeah.